What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we working on the new trailer. So we picked up this PX212 here from Diamond C. So 212, it's the 26,000 GVW trailer, but 30-foot deck, hydraulic dovetail, hydraulic jacks in the front. Obviously, bright red. Thing is awesome, but we're throwing a winch on this thing. Just picked up one of the Harbor Freight ones. This one's a synthetic rope one. I have a wire rope one in my Diamond C car trailer, but picked up the nicer one, and I'll show you how to. I'm gonna wire that up, but first we're wiring it up because we traded the Ford for this beautiful 83 K30 dually with a Cummins in it. Obviously, it's got stacks, flatbed. It's lifted, but it's got a first gen 12 valve in this thing and an MV4500. But farm kid owned it before me, so he wired it up pretty ghetto. Now it just keeps popping fuses every time I try to start it. Started like seven, 8 times first day I had it, and now it won't do it at all. But it's a Scottsdale MV4500 truck. But just needs to be wired. But I want to get on the 3rd gen already, so we're gonna swap this thing out. And so we're putting a winch on this thing. So for this project today, we are going to use the supplied battery disconnect switch. I have a painless distribution block that I'm going to hook up, and they give you 3 of these little power cables to relocate the box on the top of that thing. I'm going to use one of those for going from this disconnect switch in the toolbox in the back to the battery. And then I'm going to use this, because I have a bunch of 4-gauge wire left over from all my projects, to hook up to the wire that goes on the back of that thing to this thing, and this will go to that, and then that to the battery. And a little copper lugs, the heat shrink from Sky High Car Audio. This is from there too. So on this trailer, it comes with a winch plate on this thing. Obviously, it didn't come with a winch, so I'm putting one on here. But this is pretty much exactly how it came. This wire's already hooked up. This will be the ground, which this does come with a supplied ground, but that's really long, so I'm gonna make my own with some other cable I have. And then I'll probably just drill a hole in here, have that as my ground. But this is the power cable. I'm going to drill a hole in this thing, put a grommet there, but for mock-up purposes, I'm just running it like this. But this comes with a grommet there, so I ran through there. So then this is the back side of that grommet. So I have it ran down here, up these cross members. That's the end of it. And I'm going to mount this somewhere here. And if I can do this one-handed. Anyways, that'll mount to that, kind of like that. And this is a spare tire mount. And then I'll have the other 4-gauge wire come off that over there to the box. So then it'll come in that hole there, the back of the box, and then this will be mounted somewhere like that. And I'll have the cable come off, and that cable will just go to the power, and it should be just like that. So I'm gonna do that and then show you how I did it. Show you how it looks when it's ran. So we're gonna start with making this end for the power wire, and so we can hook it up to this side. And then I'll run it from this to the distribution block, but this will be the hardest to get to, so we're going to hook this one up first, and then I'll pull it up the trailer. But start with this, cut a little of the sheathing back. I'm going to use this as our little measurement. pretty much like that. Take our favorite Milwaukee tool here, roughly there, mark it, and then we're going to just cut that off with the razor blade, and then strip that off, and then we'll crimp it with our fancy crimp tool here. And then after that, we'll hit it with the heat gun, a little heat shrink, make it look all good. All right, we got that cut. You can see you have to push it in for it to stay, but that's done. Got the 4-gauge dies in there, and then we're just gonna put that in there and then crimp this thing down, and then we'll be done with that. We got that crimped. Just went till it stopped, or at least I couldn't push anymore. That's kind of what it looks like. And we will just throw that on there, kind of like so. Just like that, and then we're gonna hit it with the heat gun. Got that done. It looks beautiful. I pretty much just used this Harbor Freight heat gun, about 6 inches away, high heat, real quick, evenly. Turns out beautiful every time. All right, we got this thing finished 8 hours later, but got it mounted up on the plate there. And with the cross member that's under there, I put it really close to the front, so this ended up just going over it. So instead of doing the grommet like I thought, we just ran like this. But got the ground bolt in there. Had to put the little extension on the ground to get that to clear. And then I just had this ground laying around, so it's really long. It's probably my least favorite thing about this. But got that done. Ran through the grommet there. All right, comes through that grommet, obviously down and up like I showed you. Got that mounted up. Snapped the other head of that one off, so there's just one holding it on. But it's fine. That one, I realized I would have to take the whole thing back out to heat shrink that. So I'm going to do it when I can get an extension cord out to this thing. But that comes out all the way down. Drill there through that grommet, over into the back of the box because there's already a hole, and then into the box. Through there to the disconnect switch. There's already a hole there, so I just added another one. So it's slower than I thought it would be. Did that, ran it back through that extra wire through there. These are the little protectors for the winch and the cable for the remote. Even though this remote is wireless, but it plugs in there, which that's super handy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Comes up to the power here, disconnect switch. So thanks for watching. I'm going to spend the next hour or two loading up the square body.